I'm pretty sure you've seen reels like these on your Instagram. This style is very attractive and easy to achieve in After Effects. This video is going to be the key for you to learn it. And for everyone thinking, I'm not creative enough for this, don't worry. I'll show you how to go from where you have no design ideas to a complete viral reel. Let's get to it. Okay, so first step, let's assume you've already brought your audio clip that you want to work on. Now it's time to think about how you're going to bring those ideas into life. First, we need to determine the look of our scene. For that, let's take some inspiration from Pinterest. Some keywords that always work are poster, graphic design, and you can add more keywords to these in order to go a certain direction. For example, vintage graphic design or futuristic poster. Now, theoretically, all of these designs can be animated and turned into scenes, but that's not inspiration, that's theft. I want you to take inspiration from multiple scenes and combine it with what you already know, and I'm sure after that, you'll have an idea what to make. Let's take some of these posters as inspiration and go to Photoshop and try to storyboard our scenes. Okay, here are the designs that I took as inspiration to make my scenes, and here are the scenes that I came up with in Photoshop, so that I can just copy it in After Effects and animate it. We're gonna see how to do just that. Okay guys, so in After Effects, just create a new composition. As you can see, I added my files that I'm gonna use. So I have them separated into different scenes and different folders. I'm just gonna create a solid, make it white, and then just start working on our first composition. So, in the first composition we have right here, or the first scene, we have the person right here, and it's kind of covered by this shape layer. So we're going to add just that right now. So let's go to first scene. We're going to find the person, the picture of our person. Let's make it 3D before we forget, and then just add this shape layer, scale it up a bit before, and then P, bring it down, make the quality up a bit, and then scale it up. P to make it go up a bit more, and then let's go ahead and make a shape. Now this is, if you're selecting this and you kind of make a shape, then it's gonna just turn to a mask. So what you're gonna do is just click into the void right here and add your little shape. So around right here is perfect. Just go to this shape and make sure you add some roundness to it in order to match the original. So about 30 or 40 is good. Okay, now what I want to do is call this matte, shape matte, and then let's just track matte the person to it. Okay, so now let's copy the person and then call this person 2, and this just track matte it, just to keep things organized. Now this one, we're gonna delete the tracking, and let's make this layer right here appear by clicking this icon. And now we have this right here. So the layer that's track matted is apparent, is just not shown because this one is kind of covering it. So the effect is not yet coming into place. What I'm gonna do is just mask this layer above, something like this. Okay, great. Now add a little bit of feather to this mask because we're going to need it later, so that it kind of shifts from this layer to this layer. Now we have something like this. If you look at this picture right here, you can see that we have some shadow. So we're going to add just that. We're going to copy this shape and copy it and paste it above. Call it shadow. Now I'm going to kind of scale it up a bit and bring it down. I'm gonna change the color to something darker and bring it down to about right here. What I'm gonna do is fast or track matte it to this, and then add an effect called fast blur. Fast box blur. Add it right here. And now let's increase this parameter right here. Okay, amazing. Now we have our effect. Now what I'm going to do is just add these texts. So video editing is not just a skill. We're going to add that right now. Video editing is not just a Let's change the color to black, and let's bring this right here and kind of tighten everything up because it's too spread. And now let's do this and bring it right here. Copy the layer and type in skill. Make it black. Scale it up and then bring it downwards. Make it something like this. Really good. Oh, what did I just do? Cancel. Okay. Now we're good. Just add this by a bit, and let's select both of these, make them 3D layers. And what I'm going to do is just add a null object and call it upper text. We're going to connect both of these to it and then turn it also into 3D. And if I bring up position and I start animating, it's going to animate the whole text. I want to achieve something like that so that it becomes, easier for me to animate. So let's just make the position something like this. Make sure the head is kind of going above the text. So something like this. Good. Now let's copy these texts, both of them, and let's bring them down a bit. Sorry, let's bring both of them down. Right here. And the first one, I'm going to turn it is not. So this text right here, it's not. Let's rename it first. It's not. And then put it right here. It's not. Position it to the left of the layer. Good. Now go to skill and name it art. What I want to do is kind of make it a bit more compact. And I only use this layer or this font right here called standing. I think it's appropriate for this context right here. So let's just rename this art not to get confused. And then bring out P and go a couple pixels like this. And then P again to this other layer and bring it towards the middle right here. Let's scale this up by a tad bit and bring this up too. Let's see what we're looking at. Okay, maybe the art word needs a little bit more stretching. So let's do this. Let's kind of not play with the scale because it's already scaled enough. And let's just do this. This looks good. Okay, now let's select everything. And just kind of bring everything to the upwards, Let's see. Or maybe you can put everything back into place and just select both of these and get them up. So let's see, or it's not. It's, I just typed it's not. It's an. So I'm supposed to type here, it's an. It's an art. Good. Now, what I want to do is select both of these and make a new 3D object or null object. Call it bottom text. Select both of these and then parent them to this object right here so that I can control both of them. Now, I want to just bring them up and to the right a bit, to the left, sorry. And then let's animate this. So what I want to do right now is just kind of bring everything to place. Let me first bring the audio clip. So I'm going to bring it right now. I have my clip right here. I'm just going to put it right here and we can listen to it to see what we are going to do next.
Video editing is not just a skill, it's an art.
Okay, video editing is not just a skill. So let's kind of follow what he says and then animate from there. I'm going to use a preset called Fade Up Blurry. I'm going to use it right here. Click U, and then the keyframes show up, and we're going to adjust them.
Video editing is not just a skill.
So right here, the animation ends. Okay, let's just stretch the animation a bit, and then do the same for skill U, and then let's see where skill ends. So skill starts about right here. I want to kind of overlap these two animations. So right here it ends. Let's see.
Video editing is not just a skill, it's an
Okay, it's an art. Now let's look for the other two words. It's an art. press U to bring this up.
It's an art.
So about right here, it's going to start the animation. And then end about right here. Go to art and keyframe it too. So something like this.
It's an art.
It's an art. For some reason, this is not animating. I'm just going to delete this, to be honest. Okay, let's add another text. Call it it's an. And then get our font extra light. And then scale it down by quite a bit. P. Or press P. Don't. Bring this up. And make sure this is a 3D layer, and then connect it back to the bottom text null object so we can control it, and then bring this up down by a bit. Now let's go to our text again, and then go to, let's see, effects, and then bring this right here. Press U in order to see the keyframes properly. Let's see, where are the keyframes? Okay, good. So the keyframes are not showing. Let's see. Okay, press U, and now let's bring up the position, and now let's just kind of offset this by a bit to start first, and then the second one follows. So let's see.
It's an art.
Great. Now let's just add camera movement. But let's first kind of animate the person. So let's go to person 2, the person 2 layer, and add some pinpoints or puppet points. This is the tool we're going to use. It's called Puppet Position Pin Tool. So we're going to pin the head right here and pin the head on this little guy too. Pin the arm. And now we're going to go to, let's see, we've already made keyframes right here. So we're just going to ignore this. We're kind of, oh, okay, we're going to just take all of them and bring them to the first frame. Right, and then go about 2 frames forward, and let's take all of these little keyframes just a bit to the left to make like a wind kind of effect, you know. It's really important to add multiple keyframes, because if you only add 2 or 3 or whatever, you know, like low number, your animation is gonna be wacky. So for example, if I take this, like this is not going to follow it. You see it spin in place until I kind of make it follow it. If I do just one, maybe if you do it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's going to look weird. So you have to add a lot of keyframes or a lot of pinpoints. Now I'm going to go to frame 4 and paste this after I copied it. Go to frame 8 and paste it, and then go to frame 12. We don't need to do that actually. Let's go to select everything, and then go to press F9, go to the graph editor, and make sure it's something like this. Bring everything forward in order for the change in speed to look smooth. So now when our guy is changing directions, it looks smooth. It's not abrupt. So boom, boom, really good. Okay, now what I want to do next is just add a camera and start animating. So let's go to new, add a camera, and then add a null object. This null object is also going to be 3D, and call it cam control 1. Okay. Now, control our camera, connect our camera to control 1, and then let's go to 1 and make a position. Our first position is going to be something like this. So it's going to be a zoom in, and then only the text is going to be apparent. Okay, so let's bring this keyframe right here in order to modify it. And then let's go and make the text in the middle. Okay, let's bring it to the center.
Video
For about 2 seconds or about 4 seconds. Let's see.
skill. It's an art.
It's an art. So about 4 seconds, and just bring this down by quite a bit. So about right here. Good. Let's keyframe both of these, and then when he says skill,
It's a skill.
I want the speed to be at the top. So it's always good to kind of sync your graph movement to your audio clip or your text. really good tip. Now let's add another null object, and I'm gonna add, call it cam control 2, and I'm gonna add
it's an
camera switch. I'm gonna show you what that is. So let's go here let's go right here.
is not just a skill, it's an art.
So when he says it's an art, that's when the camera switch
It's
is
an
gonna
art.
happen. So about right here, add a keyframe, and they'll go one frame further, and then add the other frame. Now the other frame, I kind of want it to, I'm gonna bring it right here in order to adjust it, because I don't want it to be impacted by this animation below. So I'm gonna bring it right here, animate it, and then bring it to the direction or its original position. So what I want the layer to do is just to bring it to something like this, right? So let's just bring our, okay, I just made the keyframe.
It's an art. Your technical ability might be.
Okay, that looks good.
Video editing is not just a skill, it's an art.
Okay, I don't need to adjust it. That looks good in itself. So we're gonna keep it like this.
Video editing is not just a skill, it's an art.
Okay, but we want this animation to kind of, or maybe we can just bring this before.
Video editing is not just a skill, it's an art.
Okay, this is better. Now let's see what we can do more. We can add the paper effect, or we can maybe make this a bit darker. No, this does not look good darker. So maybe right here. Okay, this looks good. Now let's just make our person appear slowly from the track mat. So something like this. But this, okay, so what we need to do is, let's see if we can kind of, yeah, we're gonna need to parent this one to the person. So the track matted person is now parented to the person. Let's see now if we adjust the position. Does it go with it? No, apparently it doesn't. Let's see. Oh, it does. Okay, good. Now, let's see. Good. This is a cute little effect we achieved. Now what I want to do is just make it right here. Kind of right here. And then put a keyframe. And then bring it all the way to its original position. Let me see. So let me first kind of mark its original position. So it's going to be right here.
Video editing is not.
Let's see, person. Sorry. So this is the original person positioned. Good. Now we're going to bring this original position to the first frame, and then we can, or right here before the first frame. So let's go 2 seconds. That's good. 2 seconds. And then let's go to the first frame and then bring it down so that we don't get confused. Now let's see if that looks good. Might need a little bit of adjustment, but it's okay.
Video editing is not just a skill, it's a.
That looks very.
Video editing is not just a skill, it's an. Video editing is not just a skill, it's an. Video editing is not just a skill, it's an art.
Okay, we're gonna have to adjust that because it looks very.
Video editing is not just a. Video editing is not just a skill, it's an art. An art.
Okay, maybe if we add some animation to the shape, it's gonna look good. Let's see. This is the shape. So we're gonna animate this from the scale position. So right here, I'm gonna do something really good. What I want to do is just kind of about 2 seconds or about 1 second. Let's make the scale into its original position. Now about right here, it's gonna be just 0. We're gonna press F9 and bring this to a bit right here. Kind of want to make the movement active in the last frame. And then I'm going to bring up expressions and I'm going to type an expression right here. I'm going to copy it real quick. Okay, so I brought my expression. You're going to find it in the comments or the description. whatever, just paste it. And
video editing is not just a skill.
okay, we're gonna have to play around with it.
Video editing is not.
So it seems like it's not really hitting. Maybe we, oh yeah, that's what we need to do. We need
Video editing is not.
I don't need to see the edge for it to bounce. So
video editing is not just a skill, it's an art.
This works better. This works even better. So now what I'm gonna do is just add some noise because this desperately needs some noise. I'm gonna add an adjustment layer and just add some noise. And let's look for noise. Yeah. Let's just add some noise. Really good. We can use colors or not. Actually prefer not to. We can maybe add like a small little clip, small little mask like this, and just increase the feather for the little transition from this to be smooth. And we can see if that looks good. Okay, we can make the noise, kind of keyframe the noise to only appear after this frame right here. So right here it's gonna be, let's go to effects and go to noise and keyframe it, go keyframe below or before and make the amount of noise 0 so that it's not apparent. Boom, and it just appears out of nowhere. That looks good. I'm gonna add another adjustment layer, but this time I'm gonna add vignette and glow. So call it final touches. We're gonna add vignette and glow. I could have added this at the end, like after all the compositions, but I just want to see how this looks like with glow. Copy my settings. So this looks good. Let's see. This looks good.
Video editing is not just your tech.
Okay, good. Now what I want to do is select all of these. Boom, like all of these, literally all of these. And press Ctrl-Shift-D to cut them all. And then let's see.
It's an art. It's an art.
I cannot make the cut a little too early.
Art.
So right here.
Your technical ability.
Press delete to delete everything. And this was it for the first composition. Okay guys, for our second composition, if we look at it, it's right here. So we just have, it's really simple. We just have these two tools right here and this picture of this guy with this object on top of his head and a shape behind. And we just have a shape right here that's black coming over all of this text. And this underline right here, it's really simple. So we're just going to recreate this in After Effects. So in After Effects, you just want to go, so let's go to our second scene. I have the folder right here with all the assets. I'm just going to bring the picture first of the guy. Let's bring it right here, scale it down. I want to first go all the way down and kind of extend its white layer. And now let's see, bring the picture or the guy right here and bring his position upwards or downwards. Something right here. Okay, now let's just call this picture person. Okay, and now make it 3D and let's bring in all the assets that we have one by one. So this guy right here, we want to put it right above his head. So right here, scale it down just a bit and then bring it up. And now what I want to do is kind of bring a mask the face of this person in this position right here. Let's first scale this up because I just noticed that his neck is showing. We don't want that. Let's bring it down a tad bit. And now let's mask this part right here. And let's go to the mask and make sure it's inverted so that the person shows, but that picture or the part we masked doesn't show. Okay. Now let's add our little shape before we bring in the other objects. So we're just gonna go to this tool right here and select rectangular shape, and then go right here and create our shape. Okay, let's call it background shape and bring it below the person. Now what I'm gonna do is kind of get the person track matted to it so that our person does not show over the shape, if you know what I mean. And now let's duplicate the person and call this track matted person, and this one just person. Okay, now everything is in 3D, and then let's get the person right here. Let's see what's happening. So we don't need to do any additional steps because the person is not kind of covering the shape layer above, like in the first composition right here. So in here, the person is kind of going above, but in here it's not. Just realize that our shape layer is kind of extending behind in the first composition. So let's delete that real quick. What I was trying to show you is that our first person is extending above the shape, but in this case, we don't need to do that. Okay, so what just happened? The person is right here. Okay. Okay. Now let's get our person. So the person is track matted. Huh. I'm just realizing this stuff as we go. It's okay. We're just gonna mask this. It's not a big deal, right? So mask this. But it's sorry, this is track matted. So we shouldn't have like a second person. I guess we have to track mat it again. Good. And then bring this right here. That was a roller coaster. It's okay. Let's now get our shape to be round. So we're just gonna go to contents and then right here, path, and then put around this at 40. Let's go back and add our shading layer. So call it shade, and let's make it above everything and kind of scale it up by a bit, bring its position down, and add an effect called fast blur. All of this we did in the first composition, so it's okay. Box blur, add it right here, and let's just add the amount. Great. This looks good, really good. Okay, so we can kind of scale it down in terms of the x-axis to be like this. This looks good too. Press Y or enter to kind of confirm everything. And now let's track mat it also to the big shape. Good. Now, what I want to do is just add my tools. So we're going to start with the wrench. Turn it into 3D before you do anything, and then scale it down and make it below the kind of the shade layer. Scale it up just by a tad bit. The wrench, and then bring position up and to the right a bit, and bring up rotation, and do with it something just like this. We're gonna take care of that real quick. So wrench, go to mask and just take this off and go to inverted and check it. Now we're gonna bring in the saw. So this is the saw image. Rename it saw real quick, and then turn it into 3D. Scale it down, bring up position, and go right here, and go to rotation, and do this. P again, and just adjust the position as you like. Now what I want to do is add an effect called lumetri color. Let's see. So we're going to take it down. We have to. And then just the contrast, just copy my values. Okay. Now copy this lumetri color and paste it to wrench. Wrench also needs a bit of contrast. we can get the exposure a bit down and then paste it to the other layer of the saw. So let's get the exposure down on the saw and then let's see. Okay, this looks good. Now, these same settings that we used on this, we're gonna copy them to the person. Our person has to be exposed a bit more, I think, or no, we have to actually bring down the exposure to make the contrast between the tools and the person appear. So the person kind of is, you know, a mystery, right? Now, what I want to do is actually, I've noticed that the tools are showing a bit too much. So we're just going to take the shade layer. Just look for our shade layer a bit up. Good. Now our shade layer is actually in place. Let's see. Right, it's good right here. Let's just do this. It's good right here. We can always add a bit more radius blur to kind of make that ramp up longer, but we don't need to do that at the moment. We're gonna just leave it at this. Now what I'm gonna do is just add some noise. So we're gonna add noise to the person and let's see where noise was added. So everything, literally everything right here. So, yeah, we're gonna have to add like noise to every single layer. We're not gonna be like as lazy as the first time. So let's just add noise and let's add it to every single layer, literally. So go to saw and then let's see. Let's first add it to the saw and then make our way to the other layers. So about 20 is good for 26, 25. Okay, what did I just do? Okay, 25 is good. Let's copy the layer and then go to wrench, copy it, paste it, and then go to person and the other layer. And now we have it. Now we're just gonna copy it to the shape and then to the shade layer. Really, oh my god, this looks amazing. The noise effect just never disappoints. Now what we're gonna do is delete the roundness because I just noticed that in our first shape we don't have it, and roundness just kind of doesn't work in this setting. So I'm gonna delete it, and then what I'm gonna do is detach these two parameters and bring the X position or scale a bit down. And with that, I'm gonna also bring the X of the shade down because I don't want the shade to kind of extend all the way right there. Or we're just gonna bring it right here. Now what I'm gonna do is just start adding text. So your technical ability might be bound by, that's the first text. Let's add it right here. Your technical ability might be bound by. Yes, that's it. And then let's kind of select everything and shrink it a bit. Scale it down and bring it right about here. And then copy this. Let's actually give it some space. It's too like shrunk together. Give it a little bit of space. Yeah, and now let's add another text and call it tools and just type tools in here. Make it bold. So I'm gonna choose black. And okay, I typed the wrong thing, tools. And this one we're gonna space it out by quite a bit and bring the scale up. Amazing. Now let's select it again and readjust its position. Make it something like this. Now let's just go click in the void. Make sure these two texts are in 3D. And now let's add a null object to control both of them. So null, let's call it bottom text scene 2. Let's call it bottom text. We're gonna know it's scene 2 because we're gonna take care of the organization. So we're just gonna parent everything to it and then bring it up. Bring it up. Right, bring it up. Good. Now we're gonna select all of these layers that are not cut and make sure we cut them because we want our organization to be spot on. Let's kind of take all of these right here and just boom. Now we know the scene where our second scene starts. So now what I'm gonna do is, yeah, the shape. So we're just gonna add the shape. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is just add another shape layer. Let's call this underline first and bring it under the text. So the text called tools, we're gonna bring it under that and just let's select all of these and make them another color so that we know they're all, related to that text. Good. Now what I'm trying to do is add the background shape that is responsible for the last effect you'll see. So what I'm going to do is just add a shape. I think I'll add a shape instead of a solid. So let's just add a shape like right about here. Delete the stroke, of course. Okay, and then make the color white. I know you want it to be black, but just make the color white because we're gonna add a thing right there. So let's just call it difference. And that's what we're gonna do. Just go to blending mode and make it difference. And hopefully it should work. Great. Now we're just gonna bring it right here. We don't want it to affect the person, So we're just gonna bring it along with all the text it's gonna affect below the person. And amazing, it looks good now. See? We just copied our little thing right here. Now, something that I used right here is a little bit of exposure that kind of impacts only this area. I kind of use that. I don't know how to recreate that in After Effects, but what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of glow, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna achieve a similar result. So we're just gonna go to the adjustment layer we made for the first one, and we're gonna take it all the way up and expand it to cover the second animation too. So now it looks something like this. Wait a second. Oh, the make sure the difference layer is not impacting the first composition. So that's a mistake I just made. Boom. Make sure this is sorry, we're just gonna select this one and go boom. Delete it so that it doesn't impact the first layer. Cool. Now we can just go to this third layer before we need to animate. We're gonna add camera. Let's see first, do we have any text to animate? Yes, so it's gonna be your technical ability might be bound by tools. We're gonna take this camera right here and kind of delete the first part. Let's listen to it.
Your technical ability might be bound by tools.
Okay, let's go to the text. See, it's really good to kind of get your text colored up so that you can come or go to it whenever you want. Now let's go to effects and presets and just go to fade up. I'm gonna choose words this time and just grab it right here, put it right here. Go to U, press U, and just bring these keyframes closer. Press shift while you're bringing them in order for them to snap to the end of the timeline. That's good trick.
Your technical ability might be bound by tools.
So as he says, might be bound.
Ability might be bound by tools, but your
so about right here actually.
ability might be.
So let's just get it a bit forward, right there, and then we're gonna do the same for tools, but we're gonna use my preset for tools because it's just a small word, and we want the animation to kind of be gone for a little bit. So if you use words for it, then it's just gonna go up along. We want the characters to go up in a split manner. So let's see.
Ability might be bound by tools, but your creativity is.
Okay, so right here might be bound by tools. Now what I want to do is kind of make the camera zoom out just a bit. Let's create a null object, make it 3D and connect our camera to it, and then call it cam3 control. It's just cam2, it should be cam2, I don't know why it's called cam3. But Oh well, let's just name it cam. Good. Now we connected this to this. Now let's just start animating. So delete this. Let's see.
Your technical ability might be bound by tools.
Let's go right here. P. And then, sorry, right here. Go in a bit. Something is not in 3D. Let's see. It's connected, right? Our camera is not connected to, is it connected? It's not. It wasn't connected. So let's control it. Now let's just add a keyframe right here and go all the way in like this. And then after like 2 seconds.
Your technical ability might be bound by tools.
So about right here, let's just zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. And now F9, let's sync that to the sound. So whenever he says something interesting, that's when the kind of the most interesting thing is always synced to the zoom out. Remember that. That's kind of a rule I created. So here, when he says tools,
Technical ability might be bound.
or technical ability. So about right here, your technical ability might be bound by tools.
Your technical ability might be bound by tools.
Okay, that looks good. Let's just add a bit of, right, good. Now what I want to do is, I forgot to animate this little shape right here, so we're going to do just that. It's called underline. Go to it and add a trim path. And in order to animate it, we're just going to animate this value right here called end. So go to end. Let's click on it right here. Bring it all the way right here. And then go, let's bring it all the way right here. Good. And then about right here, we're going to type 0. And it's going to be something like this.
Ability might be bound by tools. Ability might be bound by tools, but your ability might be bound by tools, but your creativity.
Okay, good. Now, I don't like the way this looks. It's kind of a bit sharp. So I'm just going to go to this underline and go right here and click this icon. It's going to make it rounder. Okay. So now this is our little scene. Let's see how it looks like. Might need some adjustments later.
Your technical ability might be bound by tools.
Okay, let's go to the underline. I just realized that we have to push it upwards by its bit. And then what we can do is kind of bring it along with the tools text forward. So right here, and kind of bring it up. This is going to add a little bit of depth to the animation, which is always welcome, you know. Let's take this out and just P, then bring it down. Let's see what happens now where the camera zooms out. So the tools text is not impacted much by the camera. It's okay. I just wanted to see what happens. Let's see. Let's kind of just do it manually. Doesn't change that much, honestly, but it's a good little addition. It's okay. What we can do is just also bring this. Let's copy the position of these two and kind of bring this one to them. So that way we can add depth from the text to the image. See, now we can just bring down the position. And let's see. Yes, bring down the position and bring the scale up a bit. Quite a bit, actually. And then bring it down. And then bring these two down again. So this looks good. Let's see.
Your technical ability might be bound by tools.
Okay. Now, let's go to the text and kind of cut it right here. Let's go to the press L and then bring out L wave.
Bound by tools, but your
So when he says but, we're going to cut it right there.
creativity isn't. your creativity.
Okay, so right here, we just want to cut this a bit. And then we're going to bring it forward to kind of make a pause. That pause is where our little transitions is going to happen. So we're going to go like...
But your creativity.
Yes, so just a little, just a tiny pause.
But your creativity isn't.
Okay, good. Now we're going to select everything in our second animation. Everything except for this final touches layer. And we're going to delete everything. Good. Now, let's keep our final touches layer at the upper side. Okay, so for the third composition, what we're going to do is just add... Let's look at it first. So we have this, right? Let's just start working on the feather first. So let's bring this feather right here. Boom. Let's add some lumetri color. Metric color. And let's bring down the saturation. Decrease the highlights, because I don't want these highlights to be kind of prominent. And let's just leave it at that for the moment. Now let's add a puppet pen tool. We're going to animate it really quickly. Okay, so make sure before you mask anything, we're going to mask this layer. But before we do that, we have to add the puppet pen tool, because this is the only way it's going to work. If you kind of flip the order and add the mask and then try the puppet pen tool. Let me sure. Okay. Yeah, puppet position pen tool. This is its name. If you make it like add this effect after the mask, it bugs out. It doesn't work for some reason. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Let's make sure we're this timeline right here is showing seconds. And so we're at second 6. Let's go at second 8. So about 2 seconds forward. And then let's add some keyframes. We're just gonna animate it, right? So this is going right here. Kind of want to add position for right here, and then kind of make this go right here, whatever. I don't know. We're not going to move this one because we're going to add a shadow layer. So I'm just going to make it like this and then press U to bring out all the keyframes. Go to the keyframes before, boom, and kind of just make sure everything is moving. Let's see. So this should be right here. Let's see. This looks very bad. We need to change it. So let's see. Actually, I'm going to leave this at the same position. So we're going to delete all of these keyframes. We're going to go 2 seconds forward. We're just going to delete that and just go like this. Leave this in the same position. So we're going to go boom and make this go. For some reason, it's kind of selecting. Oh, okay. Now it's working. So like this, and then just make this go a bit forward. Let's see what happens now. Okay, let's adjust the second one too. The second puppet pin. Let's make it go too. That way. So let's see. Okay, this is good. This is good. So second 10, copy everything and paste it right here. And then go to second 14. Make sure always gap it, bro, like 2 seconds. And then press F9 and make this graph right here. So just kind of bring everything closer to each other. Let's see what we have. Your creativity isn't. Okay. Now, let's bring or create our text. So it just says your creativity, but your creativity isn't. That's the text. So let's go, but your, make it light. And then bring the size down. Bring it to the right. Let's see. Okay, bring it to the right. Make it go up a bit. About right here. And then let's change the color to white. Okay, let's change the color to white. Let's add a stroke for us to see it now. Or let's just go to the layer right here and just make this go Control Y and kind of change this to a darker color so that there's a bit of contrast between our text and our background. Now we can make it white and still see it. But let's just make it white. Now we're gonna have to add another text and call it creativity. So just tap on it and call creativity. Good. And now make it bold or black, whatever you want. Just kind of bring it a bit right here. And then let's add another layer and name it isn't. And now this isn't layer, we're just gonna play around with one setting to adjust it with the rest of the composition. And that's this one right here. So just stretch it like this. Okay. Really good. Okay, this looks good. Now, if we look at this, you can see that there's some shadow. So we're gonna add some drop shadow just to kind of distinguish it from our background. We're gonna go to Effects and go to Drop Shadow. Let's look for it, bring it right here and add softness, and then add opacity by make it 70. Let's copy it and paste it to all our layers. And now it's in all of our layers. Good. Now what I want to do is all of these, we're going to turn them into 3D along with the feather. And we're going to add a new layer and call it text control. And we're going to just select all of these and kind of parent them to this layer. Select all of them and make them yellow or whatever color to distinguish them. Now we're just going to bring up position and make it go up, and then size it up by a bit, make it go down a bit. Really good. Okay, now let's see what we can add. Let's add the shape. So let's just add our shape. Boom. The shape is going to go like something like this. Go right here and just tap right here. And let's just make it right here. Let's just call it, let's see, we can call it something like background shape. Just make it a bit darker than this. So about right here. And then make sure our feather is above it. Okay. Now, one thing that I forgot to add is just a layer which controls or which represents the kind of the shade of this feather. So the shade right here is not really apparent. We're going to mask it out. And what we're going to do is just...
But your creativity isn't.
This layer, its own shade. So we're just going to go right here. This is the shade. Let's click it to no. No, this is the shade. Okay, let's call it shadow. And now what we're going to do is go to effects and presets and add some lumetri color. Right? We're going to add it to the shadow and then bring the exposure to, we actually have one right here. We can work with this one. And let's just bring the shadow, not the shadow, exposure to minus like 100. Just do minus a ridiculous number.
Oh, your creativity.
Nice chart. And now we're just going to add some fast box blur. Add it right here and increase the value. So,
but your creativity isn't.
Right.
You use it.
And increase the value. Bring out position by tapping T and bring the opacity down. Now we're going to go to both layers and just, let's see, we're going to go to both layers and we're going to mask out this area right here. So this is the feather. You just can't see it.
But your creativity isn't. Use it.
Let's kind of tap this one instead for you to see. It also exists in another layer, but since it's been like turned into a shadow, it's not apparent. Tap M to bring out the mask and just make it inverted. Now we're going to go to this one and we're just going to, we can actually copy the same mask and paste it right here. So go right here and paste it, and it's going to take out that unwanted part. Turn these into 3D again. And let's see. Boom. We have them right here. Amazing. Now I want to actually bring out opacity and kind of make this even further. Bring the opacity down even further. Now what I want to do is track matte the shadow to the background shape because I don't want it to kind of go out of frame, and then tap the background shape right here in order to bring it out. So now let's copy this one. We're going to add the difference shape. Let's just call it difference. And what we're going to do is track matte it to this one and call it difference first. So blend in mode and call it, or choose difference. Where is it? Sometimes I go blind when I'm looking for these. Press this tool right here and then bring it towards this direction while pressing shift. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna add the paper effect. So let's just go to right here, go to scene 1, let's look for it. So the paper effect, I have it somewhere here. Let's go to import file, and then go to paper, put it right here. Let's bring it below the feather and just press S, make it big, and then go to blend in mode and make it multiply. And now go to opacity and bring it down by quite a bit to about 40 or 50, whatever is good for you. And now what I want to do is go back to this white shape right here and make this one a darker version or darker tone. Not that dark. So let's go to white again and just kind of play around with it until we find something that looks good for us. This also, let's see, we just created a black solid right here. This doesn't look that good. Let's create another one. This one might look good. Actually, we're gonna just leave the white one. We're just gonna make another one that's white but not really white. You know what I mean? So around here, just around here. Let's see. Bring it down quite a bit. About right here. Okay, this looks good. I'm just gonna stick with this. So what I'm gonna do right now is just add the flowers. So go to third scene, and then I'll have the flowers right here. I'm just gonna put them below the final touches, and then add some lumetri color to these themselves. So lumetri color, and then put it right here. Go right here, and the exposure has to be down by quite a bit. And then saturation too. And let's kind of bring the temperature towards this direction, and then bring the saturation down. And now let's see what exposure we're gonna go with. Let's delete the contrast and expose it quite a bit, and then delete the contrast. Or I say delete the contrast, I mean decrease it. Let's see what's. Just kind of play around with these values until you find something that you like. So this is good for me. What I'm going to do now is turn it into a 3D object and just scale it down. And then go to P, position, and copy the shape, the position of this shape right here, the background shape. Go to P and copy the Z position. And make sure this is on it. And then after it's on it, right, we're going to after we make sure that it's on it, we're gonna just scale it up, right? Scale it up, and then go to P and bring it forward. We want to bring it forward to add some depth of field. So bring it forward quite a bit. Bring it forward a bit more, and then go to X, and right here, kind of rotate it or scale it down. These are values that you have to just figure out yourself. It's preferential, really. And then rotate it by this amount. And now if we do this, we're gonna call this one right top flower or top right flower, and this one bottom left flower. Okay. I'm just gonna bring up position and bring this down by quite a bit. Bring it right here. And now we're gonna play with the rotation to make it face that one. Just bring it out quite a bit, and then R to bring out rotation and make it like this, and then go to Y rotation and flip it by typing in 180 degrees. Now this looks good. So all that is left right now is for us to animate with the camera. So we're just gonna select everything from the bottom to the top layer. We're just gonna type or press D, Control Shift D, select every layer right here, and just press delete. Now we have our scenes separated. So now what I'm gonna do is just add a camera and start playing around with the things. And then let's add a null object. Call this null object cam control 1. Cam 3 control. Link the camera to it, and let's delete both of these. And let's go to the first frame and just make a position. Okay, so make it 3D. Add a little. Our shape is not 3D, so let's make it 3D. And then go to difference, also make it 3D. Paper texture, do not need to make it 3D. And let's kind of bring everything forward. Let's make this right here. And let's actually make our feather a bit smaller along with the shadow. We're gonna add an adjustment layer or a null object to control both of them. So let's go to about right here, and then call this feather control and connect both of these to it, parent them to it, and now add position and make it 3D and scale this down by quite a bit. Right there. We're just gonna add a keyframe because we don't want it to be there for like a lot. We just want it to be there as the zoom is happening. And now right here, we're gonna put it to 100, back to 100. Now we're just gonna make a graph that looks something like this. Now let's just adjust the camera. So the first position is gonna be right here. And then after, let's just hear the audio.
Use it.
So about right here, just gonna add a keyframe and make it right here. Right. And now let's actually bring the text down along with the feather. Feather control, go to P, and then boom. Let's make it right here and bring the text down. Now what we're gonna do is, so he says this, right? Let's listen. Let's first adjust these keyframes. F9, and then go to the graph control. Let's do something like this.
But your creativity isn't.
So when he says isn't, it's gonna kind of, yes, so like this, something like
But
this.
your creativity isn't. Activity isn't. Use it.
So we're gonna type in, let's do something really cool. So we're just gonna kind of
Use it. Use it.
So right here, we're just gonna delete all of these. Press V, and then let's just select all of these. Control. Let's go to Control, deselect this one, go Control D, and then select everything. Actually, we don't need to do that. We just have to press delete, and then bring the final touches once more to the above. And now we're gonna kind of make a transition into a plain image where the text just says use it. And we're gonna make the text right here in the middle. So about right here, make it black, right? Or make it white, actually, and the background is gonna be black. Whatever we do works, you know. Let's make it like this, actually, and then just bring it before the final touches. And let's add a camera to it. We don't need to add a camera, but we can. So our little transition from this to this is just gonna be this. So go to cam control, we're gonna press U. We're gonna actually add a null object, another one. Call it transition. So this one is gonna be right here. We're gonna crop it from both ends. And then we're gonna do this. So as the text is approaching, we're gonna add a keyframe right here, add a keyframe for it right here, just being normal. And then as the other text is approaching, it's gonna go to the right. Let's first connect cam control 2 to it. And then let's see, yeah, it's gonna go something like this. So as the text is approaching, this is gonna go to the right. We're gonna make sure to make a graph like this so that it speeds up at the end. So something like this.
Use it.
Yes, and then the use it text is gonna go from the right to the left. So it's gonna first be positioned at the right, and then, or right. Let's see, we went from that way. Let's see, we went from this way. Yeah, so it's gonna go to the right. So right here, and then it's gonna go right here and go back to its original position. So let's just not reset it, but let's just put it in the middle. So right here. Now let's put this right here. And we want to just make the graph that we made first. We're going to kind of flip it now. We're going to make it start fast and go slow at the end. And now if we look at our little transition, it's going to go something like this.
Use it.
Use it. But we're going to extend this one by a bit.
Use it. Isn't. Use it.
Good. Now our animation looks
Video
like
editing
this.
is not just a skill, it's an art. Your technical.
Okay, now what I want to do is just make different layers for these. So this one, this kind of gray layer is going to be only for the last composition. Let's shift and just boom, and then crop it a bit more to be only kind of for this last layer. The second one has its own, or the first and second one have their own. So now what I'm going to do is just watch this and see what
Video editing is not just a skill, it's an art.
Your technical ability might be bound by tools, but your creativity isn't.
Use it.
Okay, your creativity isn't. Use it. That's literally it. Now what I want to do is add some transitions. So I'm just going to go to the first one, transition into the last one. First one, I'm going to just go to create a null object and call it transition. We're going to make it 3D and connect the last camera layer to it, and then bring out position and do something like this. So we can transition either from the right or to the left or whatever we want to do. Just go a couple of frames before and make a keyframe. And the last frame, we want to bring this frame right here so we can see it. And then just do something like this or whatever, to whichever direction you want to kind of transition. I'm going to choose this direction right here, and I'm just going to do something like this. And the graph, always make it fast at the end when you're trying to transition out of something. Okay, now we're going to go to the second composition, and we're going to go to cam control 2, and we're going to link it to another null object. And this null object is also going to be transition. Make it 3D, and then connect this cam layer to it right here. And now since this one came from the center to the left, this one is going to go from the right to the center. So that's how transitions work. Let's go right here and put a keyframe, and then put a keyframe after a couple of frames. right here, and then go to the first one and push this to the right. Push this all the way to the right. Let's see.
Your technical
Now extend this a bit further and let's make it something like this. Let's see.
It's an art. Your technical ability
might be bound by tools.
Good. Now we want this to also kind of, let's make this go. What I want to do is kind of make this zoom in. I don't know if that will work, but that's what I want to do. Let's try it. So boom, make a keyframe right here, and the last keyframe, just make a little zoom in animation. So make something like this. Great, really good. Now we're finally making use of our depth. We're just gonna make this keyframe go right here. Press shift to snap it, and then make the graph also, as I said, go fast at the end whenever you're transitioning out. So now we're gonna go to our last keyframe or our last composition, and just let's add a we already have a layer called transition, so what I'm gonna do is just kind of add a keyframe right here and then add a keyframe right here. We're zooming in, so in this one we're gonna kind of zoom out, right? So we're gonna go like that and then boom, and then do something like this, and let's see what we have right now.
but your creativity isn't.
Use
Good.
Video editing is not just a skill.
it's an art. Your technical ability
Be bound by tools, but your creativity isn't. Use it.
Let's add a vignette now. Just gonna, it's just some stuff that I wanted to add. So in the second scene right here, I wanted to add a bit of more like animation because our scene just seems so like static. So let's go to this layer right here. It controls this object right here, and I'm just gonna add this little animation. So make sure we're controlling this axis right here. Just add a keyframe at first and at the last frame of the layer, and then just make it go a couple spins. It'll be a bit subtle.
Your technical ability might be bound by tools.
Okay, this looks good. Now, what I'm gonna do is bring the saw and a wrench, bring their position, and just give them like a little position right here. So about right here, they're gonna be in position. But in this frame right here, we're gonna keyframe both of them to be out of the picture. So something like this. And let's see what happens.
Your
now.
technical ability.
Okay, this looks bad. This looks good. Let's now adjust the rotation in both of them. So press Z, and then just go to the second frame or the first frame. Sorry. So the first frame, and also add a keyframe, but this time we're gonna kind of spin them around. Spin this one in the opposite direction, and let's just select both of them. Press U to bring up both keyframes, and then go to press F9, and then go right here and make this type of graph, something like this.
Your technical ability might be. Your technical ability.
Okay, what I'm gonna do now is just stretch this graph by quite a bit, and let's see.
Your technical ability might. Your technical ability might be bound by tools.
Good. Now what I'm trying to do, what I want to do is, I kind of want to add an adjustment layer right here. I wanted to add this, but I forgot. So I'm just gonna add like an adjustment layer, and I'm gonna add brightness to it. So let's just call it brightness. Might add other things. Let's see, brightness. Let's just add it right here, and let's just get the brightness up. Okay, so the brightness layer is kind of stretching above everything. So we're gonna trim it right here and also trim it right here in order for it to only cover our second scene. So boom, delete this, and now let's go to the brightness value and up it by a small amount. Let's kind of bring the contrast down and still up it. Fly around everything until we achieve something that we want. Okay, so let's kind of take a look at the before and after. So this looks much better. What I'm gonna do now is add a mask to it and mask over this shape right here. So this spot right here, that's where I'm gonna add the mask. Kind of make the mask, stretch it a bit, and then what I'm gonna do is just add a bunch of feather. So a lot of feather. Good. Now let's see the before and after. So just delete the mask and then Control Z to bring it back to see the after and before. I think it looks really good. Okay, now I think this is complete. This looks good. So we're just gonna render it and see how it looks.
Video editing is not just a skill, it's an art. Your technical ability might be bound by tools, but your creativity isn't. Use it.